don't get to wear my hat at work. So I don't get to wear my hat for they don't allow political things. Hopefully the signal it's okay, but and the sound is okay because I am going to walk down the sidewalk. Hopefully it's not too bad over here. So I was listening, guys. Normally I go live around 5 p.m. It's a Monday through Friday, and today we're making an exception because I was watching the DA of Philadelphia talking about what he thinks about the National Guard and what President Donald Trump is doing. And I find this so ridiculous that he actually thinks that President Donald Trump is trying to make a coup. Like, for what? He's president. If you Democrat governors and mayors will do your job to protect the cities and your states from corruption, from criminals, the president wouldn't be forced to do what he's doing. And then the other thing that pisses me off about it is how they talk about the National Guard. Like, they're talking about the National Guard like they're just going to go and they're just going to shoot Americans. It is such a disgrace, such a disrespect to our military servicemen. I think having the National Guard, just like many police officers have shared, they actually provide support for law enforcement. And many law enforcement have shown thanks and gratitude to the National Guard, which is something that these mayors and governors seem to think the opposite of. Now, I know that there is a lot of patriots out there, Democrats and Republicans, that, of course, you vote for a certain party because there is some sort of loyalism. I understand that, but at some point, people have to really think about what's better for our country. Hopefully, I'm getting good reception over here because I didn't have that many bars when I was trying to get on earlier. But anywho, I normally don't get on live until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. But this was really bugging me because like so many people are being lied to, and they don't realize that having the National Guard in a crime-infested area, it doesn't sound like a good idea, especially if there is no crime. But in this case, we know that there is hundreds of people dying, innocent people. And what's crazy is that this is in our minority communities. We know that this is an issue, a known issue. Hey, Marco, how are you? Enrique Iglesias. Man, that guy is more handsome. He's a handsome guy. I'm not handsome. But I think that is a shame that these mayors and then these governors, they talk so bad about the National Guard. What a shame. The National Guard, they are Americans and residents that are putting their lives on the line to protect and serve this country. And to say that they're just going to come into the cities and they're not trained and they're just going to shoot somebody, you really are insulting every single American in this country, especially those who have families who serve in the military. We are very proud of our military servicemen. And I think that any mayor or governor should be happy and thankful that the government, the president, even though they don't like him, they should be happy and thankful that the National Guard is there to provide support. Hey, Larry, how are you? So it really gets under my skin to hear this. And it's unfortunate, guys, because Democrats take the rap. Hey, Cameron, the Democrats take the rap for it. But I mean, this is the worst city so far. We know what happened in LA, right? We know what the statistics are in Chicago. You got all these yummies out there with guns in their backpacks. They're going to school with guns in them. And they show their videos and nobody seems to get them in trouble. Like the parents don't exist. Like who is watching this? These teenagers, 12, 13, 14-year olds doing crimes, killing people. And if they shoot somebody, if they don't die, they don't get prosecuted. What? That's crazy. I see a lot of police officers in DC being thankful that the National Guard is there to provide support. Now, if you know somebody that thinks that the National Guard is, telling the police officers to stand down, that's a lie. The police officers are actually saying thank you so much for your support and for your help. They are just as American as our police officers on the ground. And I refuse to believe that we as Americans should feel intimidated by our own military forces. This is our people. This is our law enforcement. They need our support. And the judges, the courts, they have not been doing their jobs either. So the least that we can do is support our military, support the National Guard, support the police officers. I have heard rumors that they are being forced to lie about arrests. They have been downplaying crime. And what's crazy is, even though they downplay the crime, so many residents from these areas are actually speaking out and talking about how horrible crime was on their city and their town and how different it is now just after 12 days, guys. 12 days. And there's no crime. That is crazy. I am sure there's got to be some crime somewhere. But at least in the cities where the National Guard are helping the police officers, I heard that it's been doing very good. So Dave, at the end of the day, says you're not white. I'm not trying to be white. I am trying to support the American people, which is a different thing. I think that if you believe that you can be somebody you're not, something's wrong with your brain. In this country, American does not mean white. American means just that. It means that you're a citizen of this country, and as a patriot, it would be a shame if you don't support the American people. I believe in our military, and I believe that Tony Brown, stop, you're not helping anyone, says Tony, the guy that's actually not helping anyone. All right, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that support. God bless you, brother. Timothy Travis, whatever takes the focus off of Trump, be an Epstein list. All right, we'll get to the Epstein eventually, but right now, no. Right now, I am showing support for our beautiful National Guard, our men and women who fight, who actually sacrifice their lives to protect us. Any type of invasion, any type of terrorist attack, whether foreign and domestic, they are here to protect us. No American should be afraid of the National Guard being in their town. If anything, they should be even more prouder to be Americans with our National Guard next to them. I have seen so many black residents in Washington, D.C. thanking the National Guard for being there. They're over there and saying, thank you so much. The police, they try to do a good job, but some of the police officers, they're being told by their superiors to not report this crime, to not report that crime. And they say, finally, now that we have boots on the ground, we feel the support, and now we feel more courageous to go out there and do our job. And that's what I see. I see police officers now, they're like, hey, finally, somebody has our back. And you know what? Unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of people, like some of the negative people that come on here, and they're going to start saying, oh, you're a bootlicker. Oh, you're not white. Oh, you're this and you're that. But you know what? We're always going to have those people. But I'm telling you, I know I might be lagging over here. I apologize. I don't have a good reception here. But I am not having my lunch because I really feel that American patriots need to know what's going on. And I might just be a simple Joe over here. I don't have the following that a lot of people have. But I will tell you, as an American, as a Honduran American, I am proud of this nation. And I can't stand to stay silent when I know that our American people are being treated like trash. These governors that have so much crime in their cities should be thankful. Forget about Trump. You need to forget about the hate for the man. But the action is correct. Forget about hating Trump and start actually hating crime in your city, crime in your town, in your state. Start hating criminals. Forget about the name Trump as the president. The actions that he's been doing, peace throughout the world, making deals, bringing investments back to the United States of America, manufacturing jobs coming back. That's what you should focus on. Stop focusing on Trump's demand. Focus yourself on what is going on. Is this good for our country? Yes? Okay, support it. Is it not good for our country? Don't support it. Most Americans, we voted for illegal immigrants to be deported. I get it. It's sad to see them being handcuffed, but guess what? They're not going to the penitentiary for life. They're just being sent back to where they belong. Their countries are not that bad. Mexico is not bad. As a matter of fact, I just listened to the Mexican president talk about how beautiful Mexico is and how many job opportunities they have created and how much they have brought crime down, up to 70% crime down. I mean, Mexico is doing fantastic according to the Mexican president, right? And I think that you should be happy for that. So if we're sending people back to Mexico, man, Mexico is beautiful. They're going back home, guys. They should be celebrated. I bet you the Mexican family over there in Mexico be like, hey, listen, the president of Mexico says, la presidenta, she says crime is down 70%. Jobs are being multiplied by the hundreds of thousands. Mexico is looking great. We're having some great solar panel energy. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. So everything in Mexico is great, guys. So we should be happy that they go back to their country, right? That's what I think. So if you are an illegal immigrant or know somebody that is illegal in here, I'll just say this, wish them the best. I wouldn't say call ICE on them. That's not your job. But if ICE has warrants of arrest for people that have committed crimes, it doesn't matter the size. I mean, technically, every illegal committed 3 crimes already. It crossed the border illegally, worked illegally, and then committed fraud with fake papers to work. So that right there is already a felony, but we're willing to overlook at that, okay? We already know that illegal immigrants got to be deported. I get it. But right now, you shouldn't oppose when 40 MS-13 gangbangers get arrested and deported. What are you fighting for? What is this due process that these people want for illegal immigrants, that they have the actual tattoos of the gangs on them? Like, what is there to prove when the proof is so evident? All they got to do is show me the paper that says, hey, I don't belong here in the United States of America. Well, I guess I should be deported. Nobody says that. We need to protect Americans. There is a lot of migrants that come here. Millions of migrants have come here. And we have done great things for this country. You know, maybe some of us, I didn't serve in the military. I got family, I got cousins, I got people that have served in the military. I respect them. They're not bad people. They sacrifice their time. They sacrifice family time to go and be in the military, to service this country. Those are the patriots that I defend and that I back up. I back up the blue, regardless of what you see on these little videos on social media. There is hundreds and thousands of stops, and there is no crime, no criminal activity happening from any police officers. Some of them just can't take it anymore and they act out. I get it. There's got to be a disciplinary action for that. But for the most part, they do their job. And the last thing that they need to do is to be against them getting support from the National Guard. Believe it or not, being a police officer, that's got to be some stressful work. It's very risky. It's very dangerous. You can be out there, just maybe somebody's going to get a ticket and that police officer can just get shot just because somebody doesn't want to get a ticket. So yes, when we see crime-ridden cities, We don't vouch for the homeless. We don't say, don't bring the National Guard here. Our homeless people, they need a sidewalk to sleep on. You know what that tells me? That governor of that state, the mayor of that city, they have failed the city. They have failed the people. How can you sit there and just say the homeless people need a sidewalk to sleep on? Unfortunately, I've only heard this from Democrat politicians. I haven't heard this from Republican politicians. So I can't just say that, it's just, it's just Democrats or Republicans. No, it is just Democrats. And I can guarantee you, if any Republican governor hears that Donald Trump is going to bring the National Guard to help them out with the crime infestation that they have in their city, they will be more than happy to welcome the help. The mayor I think he's from Baltimore. What a shame. He says he served in the military. I think that's the right guy. Forgive me, I don't remember his name. I really don't pay attention to these morons. But he says that he served in the military, and there is no way that he's going to allow the National Guard to come into his town and help the police officers. What? Like, they're killing machines is what they're calling them. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't see that. The other police officers that have been supported by the National Guard don't believe that. The actual citizens that live in these crime-infested towns, they don't believe that. They love seeing the National Guard there. How dare they come and insult them? They should be out there saying thank you so much for the sacrifice that you make for us to be safe. I see black people that say they live in the ghetto. They're so happy the National Guard is there. Why do you think that is? And of course, the mayor, specifically the mayor from Chicago, that guy has no brains. That guy's city is burning to the ground, literally. And he thinks that everything is fine. You know why? Because he got money. The black community don't got money, but he has money. That's why he don't care. And you know how they make themselves look good? They tell the police officer, hey, listen, I know that was somebody that died. Forget about it. Don't report that one. Let's remove some numbers. Hey, look, we're doing great. Crime is down 40%, and yet they have the same amount of killings happening every month. That is crazy. And I think that shouldn't happen. So for all of you patrons, this video, my lunchtime that I'm spending here with you, this is for you, my patriot Americans. This is for those law-abiding citizens and residents and migrants that are in here, probably waiting for some papers, some green card papers, maybe a citizenship. This live is dedicated to you because you guys are important enough for somebody to care. Now, a lot of people are going to be negative about it. A lot of people are going to give me a lot of hate for it, but it doesn't matter how much they hate me. I love this country, and I want this country to be good. National Guard, when they get done helping Chicago, Baltimore, and New York, please come over here to Seattle, Washington. This governor over here is pooping all over our streets, along with those homeless people that they get no help. These people, they keep taxing the people and do nothing to help the homeless. They think it's okay. They remove a lot of homeless encampment at the pier here in Seattle because they needed to build and reconstruct a new look for the Seattle at the pier. But guess what? They just moved those homeless to the other side of the freeway. They don't help them out. Thank you, Crank. I really hope the National Guard gets here sooner than later. And not just that, but Doge needs to come over here and do some audits. These governors have been stealing money from the people, and somebody needs to hold them accountable. You should see the meetings, the press conferences that they do, the interviews that they give to the public. These people hate citizens. They hate Washingtonians. They don't care about the law-abiding citizens. They only care about the purple, green, and yellow hair-colored people, the ones that are telling Christians that they're going to kill them. They're going to shoot them if they come to the park where they're having their own little pride parade. Listen, I don't care what you do. You don't get the right to threaten anybody of getting shot. We don't do that. And I'm going to tell you something else. If you don't respect the police, if you don't respect the law, and I'm talking about those illegal immigrants on this chat, get out of our country. As simple as that. You come over here to this country, you respect the American people, number one. And number two, you follow the law. You don't defend criminals. If anything, my advice is if you are illegal, quiet, and be on your best behavior. Now, I am not trying to, belittle you, but it's a very sincere advice. Quiet, respect the law, be in your best behavior. If you don't get deported, chances are you will probably end up getting papers. But I'm going to tell you right now, even if you marry an American citizen, if you're a criminal, you go to jail and you will be deported. Because let me tell you something that probably most people don't know. There is a requirement if you want to be a green card holder. And that requirement, you need to be in your best behavior. No criminal background. You cannot belong to a terrorist organization or to a group of people that are inciting violence in this country. And a lot of you that support illegal immigration, you're probably illegal yourself. So I'm going to give you some advice. Be on your best behavior, and I'll remind you, keep your mouth quiet so that maybe one day when that opportunity comes, you have a clean record. Even your driving record should be clean. There is not one spot of any criminality on my record. And you know why? Not because I'm a great person, not because I was born a wise person or I'm very smart and I know everything. No, because my mom taught me better. So I'm going to tell you something. I worry for the next generation. Because if you are an adult and you are talking the way you talk and you defend the criminality that I see that you're defending, your next generation is doomed. Your children will be the most disrespectful. You know what they used to say back in the days? And I tell my kids till this day, because I'm old school and I'm also new school. I tell my kids, listen, I don't care what anybody does to you. If somebody hits you, you hit them back. But if somebody just talks to you, insults you, you keep your mouth shut. You walk away. Be a peacemaker. But if they follow you and you can take them, I said take them. All I'm saying is, I am not going to let my kids be defenseless, but I'm also teaching them values. If you're teaching your kids to be rebellious, disrespectful, and to disrespect authority, number one, which is what I see on the streets right now, 12, 13, 14-year-old committing crime. Thank you, Thomas. You are going to be the ruin of this country. If you're an adult and you don't respect authority, your children are going to be criminals. For sure. And that's not just my opinion. It's a fact. The children learn from their parents, and I am so afraid to see what kind of children you raise. So I'm going to say I am proud of the American way, not the white way that doesn't exist. That is something that you insecure people have made up. I believe the American spirit is for everybody that wants to live the dream in America. And I, as a Latino, for Trump, believe in that dream. And I come over here and work my butt off. Today, the only time that I can have a live with you is to sacrifice my lunch, which is actually going to be good for my health. Maybe it'll help me lose a couple of pounds. But I am spending my time, if I can serve in the military, if I can go do something great, the least that I can do is show my support and love for the American people. Because it seems that they get a lot of hate from the world. And it's sad to see that a lot of you that actually live in this country don't respect that. You don't see the privilege that you have upon your life today. You don't see the blessings that God drops on your life every day. But we do, and we respect our police officers. We respect our National Guard. We respect our Navy. We have families in the military and the Air Force, and we have the most powerful military force on earth, and we are very proud of every single one of those people that serve. Even though some of them do it for the money, I don't blame them, but nonetheless, for those patriots that are sacrificing themselves for the better of this country and their countrymen, my respect. So if you hate Trump, go ahead. If you don't like the guy, go ahead. He don't care. He's been roasted. Go ahead and watch the roast of Donald Trump. Go watch it. They say so much nasty stuff about him. His wife was there. His daughter was there. They laugh. There is nothing that the family doesn't know about Trump. They know everything. And you know what? They support him. I see the change on the man, Donald Trump. You don't have to see it, but you can't deny the facts that he has stopped 6 wars. You can't deny the facts that he was right about tariffs. Businesses, countries around the world are coming to us. We are not the laughing stock of the world anymore. We are respected because we are strong, not weak. He's not falling asleep on a meeting. He's talking to them. Not only talking, but he's telling them what to do. You know why? Because our president, whether you like it or not, whether you feel sour in your mouth or your bitterness in your heart, our president is an alpha male, and he's going to fight and keep fighting for our country. And God has blessed them. God has put him in office for a reason. And whether you think he's the worst man on the world, it doesn't matter, because God uses whoever he wants to use and whatever he wants to use. I have suffered in my life, but I've been taught a lot of good lessons, and I know what decisions I shouldn't make anymore. I know the consequences for my actions. And even though I never had a criminal activity or any type of record of criminality in my life, I know that it doesn't matter how small my decisions are, the consequence can be very catastrophic. So I'm very careful about what I do and what I say. But when it comes to saying the truth, there is no filter. I'm sorry, honey, if that hurts your feelings. I'm sorry if you feel that I'm supporting a tyrant. You know who's a tyrant? You know who's a dictator? Maduro from Venezuela. But we're about to take care of that, baby. We're about to take care of that. And then we're also going to take care of the cartel. That's just what America does. I won't. I can't do it. I wish I could. But thankfully, we have an awesome president that will take care of that. We have an awesome military that will take care of that. And we also have plenty of patriotic Americans that support this country. And because of those patriots that support this country, you people that hate this country are still benefiting. I dare you to go to the Middle East and go protest the way you protest over here. I dare you to go over there to Qatar and tell them whatever you tell us here in America. I dare you to go over there and try that shit. I dare you to go to China and tell them how horrible they are for killing millions of their own people. Go ahead, go to North Korea and tell them how horrible the guy is. You thousands of Americans, oh yeah, all of you guys, listen, how about we do this? All of you Americans that hate the United States of America, we will go ahead and gather some money. We will put you guys on a plane to North Korea, and I want you to go tell the North Korean Kim Jong to how horrible he is. Go ahead and step over the Northern Korea border, and however many of you it takes, it's okay. We're willing to make that sacrifice. And those citizenship spots that become available because of your ignorance, we'll give that to some migrants that are waiting for citizenships that truly love this country. Because ungrateful people, we don't really want that here. I mean, who wants to run a race with a bunch of heavy weight behind them? Nobody. Nobody can go in the ocean and swim freely with a bunch of weight on their shoulders and things dragging on their feet. We need a lifeguard. We don't need weight. Are you a lifeguard or are you a weight? Because we don't need weights. Oh, man. Listen, LGBTQ is a horrible organization. But my gays and lesbians, I understand them. The rest of you, or rest of them, I don't understand. So, another thing, since somebody mentioned it in here, and I only have a few minutes left on my lunch. Israel. I know a lot of people out there are talking about AIPAC. You don't understand what AIPAC is. Marjorie Green, which is actually a person that I really like. I like the way she thinks and the way she talks, but I heard her saying some nonsense that is not true. AIPAC is not what she said on her interview with Jen. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But Israel is one of our allies. And a lot of us, especially Christians, support Israel. But the rest of the country, including myself, we think America is first and Israel is second, and then the rest of the world. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining into this little quick live. God bless you. If you are interested, I am on from 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Saturday we mix it up a little bit, but that gets announced on Friday night. Thank you guys for your time. Keep being a patriot and keep fighting for the truth to come out in this country. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Peace.